How does it get better? Thanks for telling me. Okay, put the recording right up. How does it get better than that? How's that?
A bit better.
A bit better. Not great.
It's okay though. I can hear. Listen.
Open up your ears. Just ask your ears to open up. So this is an exercise. This is something you really, it's a muscle you want to build so that you do this kind of like pretty much all day long. And Gary Douglas has said that this is the way that you can create your life way more easier. And when we do expand our beings, do you notice that your life gets easier, that you have a good day? That's one of the things that people say is when I do that expand your being with you in the mornings, I have a wonderful day. So right now, just you can either close your eyes, you can keep your eyes open, fine, whatever you choose. And I'll just probably put so. And what we'll do is we're just going to take the energy of who you be, take it out past your body and out past the room that you're in, right out past the house that you're in all directions, including down into the earth, and take the energy of who you be right out past the country that you live in. And then right out past the planet and out into the universe. Right out into the universe. Here we go. Here's Bevan. Welcome, Bevan. So keep on expanding your being right out 100 million miles. Oops, that was a bit better than that. I might just mute you guys because you're a bit noisy. If I could, if I knew how to do that. Hi, Bevan. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
And take the energy of who you be as the infinite being that you be, and take it out past the universe that we live in, past that universe, and then out into more universes and other universes. And start and keep connected to your body. So stay connected to your body as you expand your being right out. Push down the walls and barriers. Just say to yourself, push down those walls, push down those barriers. And now ask for the energies of infinite possibilities to come from those universes. And you can pull them, you can ask for them to come through your body and through your being and through your reality and through your universe and out the other side. So you're connecting, and start connecting with all the molecules in the universe and on the planet. It's just an ask. You're just kind of like pulling energy. So feel the difference between pushing energy is when you push energy, it's like a push energy. But when you pull energy, it's like an ask energy. It's like you're just inviting, pulling the energies of infinite possibilities. And one of the things we're going to put in there is also we're going to pull the energies of huge amounts of money. So take your awareness out all around the world and around the planet and tap into all the places where there are huge amounts of money, and tap into that money, those monies, and then start pulling money and cash and currencies from all over the world. So when you start getting currencies from other countries, you'll know, I asked for that. What are the infinite possibilities of more of that, please? So if there's anything anybody else would like to ask for with that, with being expanded right out. So anything anyone wants to ask for? Okay. So keep expanding. You can open up your eyes, and a little bit of what, is there anything that anybody wants to talk about or ask for in particular?
Peace for the whole world.
Peace for the whole world. Yes, well, that's the target, darling. We are asking for that. So how does it get better? So the other day we were talking about, on this Expand Your Being, we were talking about trusting you. Do you remember we were talking about that, Karen?
Yes.
Yeah, and we were also talking about the difference between using your intuition. Oh, goody, Kimmy's here. Welcome, Kimmy. I'll turn you off here now.
Yeah, it was the meeting idea after I needed.
Okay, cool. So we were talking about trusting you and the difference between trusting you and intuition. And I just wanted to expand on that a little bit. Oh, that's so noisy. How does it get better than that?
It's Kim and Shirley.
Oh, we're both together. Oh, Shirley.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Shirley. Welcome.
Hi. Good to see you again.
Lovely to see you too. So, are you guys able to hear me all right? Is the sound okay? Yeah. Okay, cool. So one of the things is I spoke to Brendan Watt about that particular question because I wanted to get a lot more clarity on explaining it. Because the way I explained it is that the energy of trusting you and knowing what you know is a much bigger energy than intuition. So I spoke to Brendan about that, and what his answer is, I'm going to read it to you, is Brendan said, trusting you is knowing that you will always have another choice. Trusting you is not having to get your choices right. The thing with intuition is it's like people go, well, that's my gut feeling, I have to choose it. So if you have a gut feeling, you think you have to choose it. And he says, where's the question in that? We take ourselves out of question when we say, well, I'm using my intuition in order to choose. What if you use question in order to choose? And what if, even if that choice didn't turn out like the way you think it was going to? It opened up the door to every other choice that now you have available in order to create something greater. So one of the things about the tools of access is always about creating something greater. We're always asking, how does it get better than this? What else is possible? How can I create something greater than this? We're even asking with the coronavirus, you know, what would it take for this to be an advantage for us? And what would it take for our future, for this coronavirus to be such a contribution to the planet and to ourselves? So we're always asking for more. So I'll go over this a little bit in a minute. Just let me finish it. He says here, for me, trusting yourself is knowing that you will keep going. You'll never give in, you'll never give up, you'll never quit. That's trusting you. That means you can choose in every 10 seconds. And it doesn't mean that you have to get anything right. It just means that you know you've got another choice in 10 seconds. So everything that brings up times a gazillion, will you destroy and create it, please?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, popcorn, and shorts, mignon. So trusting you is really a muscle that you want to start building and trust and developing that muscle of trusting you. And one of the things that I noticed for myself when I first heard about trusting you was way back when I started to learn the bar, when I was doing the bars for people. And when you're running bars for people, you have to trust you. You have to know that each time when you move your fingers, when you hold a different position, you know that that's the time to move. That knowing is you trusting you. And when you trust you and trust what you're choosing, your choices that you're choosing, that's how people who are very good business people, they trust themselves like that. It's a trust, and they can make choices or decisions on just like that quickly. They make those choices, and then they absolutely trust themselves to go with those choices. And there's people like, you know, Richard Branson. That's how he's built such a huge business. So that's about trusting you. And what else is possible? Okay, so everything this is bringing up for you in terms of consent, will you destroy and uncreate it? Yes. Right.
Yes.
Bad popcorn and shots me on. So anybody got anything else they would like to ask or add to that? Not really? That makes sense, does it?
What do you do if sometimes you don't trust yourself?
Yeah. Well, that's a really good question, Robin, because the target really is to notice when you're not trusting yourself. Even, when you second guess yourself about something, God, I do that too. Yeah. And when you second guess yourself, that's not trusting you. It actually creates a doubt in your universe. So you can actually go, okay, so doubt is a distractor implant, and what doubt does is it actually destroys everything that you're creating. So if you notice you have any doubt, that's a really good one to go, you know what, not true, POC and POD that. So POC and POD, there's a couple of people that haven't done a lot of access. POC and POD is point of creation and point of destruction. And you can use that POC and POD to POC and POD any doubt when it comes up. So one of the things I noticed when I moved from a job, a paid salary, and I moved into a commission salesperson's job, oh my God, did all the doubt come up. And when you go, okay, so POC and POD that doubt, POC and POD. In fact, it's a really good one to use these days right now. Anywhere that you've got any doubt about your future or what your future is going to be when coronavirus is finished and lockdown is finished, and then we go to a level 3, and all of what our future is unpredictable. It always has been unpredictable, but right now we know it's unpredictable, and we cannot predict what the future is going to be. So would you be willing to destroy and uncreate any doubt that you might have about what your future is going to be?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm going to do the clearing statement, if that's all right with you guys. If you want to know more about the clearing statement, I can send you, Shirley, some information about that.
Thanks.
But the clearing statement goes like this: right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all known shorts, boys and beyonds. So any time that you notice yourself going into doubt, oh, I wonder what, how are things going to be? Am I going to be able to afford stuff? Blah, blah, whatever all of those doubts are. POC and POD them. Just go, POC and POD myself. POC and POD all those doubts. Just POC and POD them. And one of the ways that Gary Douglas says is POC fuck yourself. And I love the way he says that, because it makes light of it. It's making fun of it. It's just being irreverent. So would you please POC fuck yourself? Any doubts that you have? Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all known shorts, boys and beyonds.
If you see.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
And would you be willing to just say to yourself, I'm just going to start trusting me more and more and more. That trust in you will really expand your whole reality, and it will stand you in such good stead, because there's really only one person to trust. Gary Douglas says that don't even trust him, because if you trust him, he has to lead you astray. But don't trust anybody. That's a good thing. It's to
Yeah.
just question anything that anybody is offering or whatever they're saying. Is to always question it. Does this feel true for me?
Yeah.
What this person is telling me, is it true for me?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that I'd like to add to this little crazy conversation about trusting you. Is that what is going on right now with coronavirus? There's a huge amount of truth with lies attached.
Oh, yeah.
And how you know if something is a truth with a lie attached is because there's a wonky energy in it. And all around the world, there's so many lies being told about the coronavirus, what it does, what it doesn't do, what it can do, what it can't do.
Mhm.
And it's all, most of it's just all made up. There's probably a very small amount of truth in it. So what you can do right now, shall we destroy and uncreate all the truths with lies attached?
Yes.
It's to do with the coronavirus. Right, wrong, good, bad, proper, corners, shorts, boys and beyonds. And would you destroy and uncreate all the truths with lies attached around lockdown and quarantines?
Yes.
Whatever that means, destroy and uncreate that. Right, wrong, good, bad, proper, corners, shorts, boys and beyonds. So keep on expanding your being right out. Any questions? Anybody? Is it frying your brain?
Hi, Chrissy. When you talked about the questions, the only one I really remember was what else is possible. But I think you said some more, like what would it take, yada yada. Can you just refresh me on those, please?
Sorry, I can't remember what they were. What were they in regards to?
The whole trusting you
Trusting you.
to ask questions, and knowing that there's another choice was what I wrote down. And
Was
you,
that something that I read from here?
from Brendan, it could be, yes. So you said use a question to create greater.
Yes.
And that's when
Yeah,
you
so I
said what
asked,
else was
so one
possible.
of the questions I asked is what would it take for this to be an advantage for me? Or what would it take for this to be an advantage for us, for the planet, for the earth?
Yeah.
Actually, quite a bit happening.
Yeah.
Because we want to ask for everything to be an advantage. Because quite often we go to the wrongness of it, or we'll say, oh God,
No.
what do we say? This is terrible, will be one of the things we might say. Lockdown is terrible, and you know, all the businesses have had to close. And can you hear the way I'm saying that? It's like that's a really
Yeah.
bad,
Yeah.
and the way I'm saying that is it's a really bad thing. So what if we could just ask, even if you do think it's a bad thing, still ask, what would it take for this to be an advantage for me? And what would it take for this, and for us and for the planet? And what would it take for things to show up far greater than I could ever imagine? Yeah. And what else is possible now? I've got a this other question is something you want to be asking too. Just tell me if you've heard this one before. Let's see if you have or not. Where is it? Come on, you guys, go away. Okay, so what is possible for me that I do not think is possible, that if I would allow the possibility, would actualize a different reality? Do you want me to ask that one again?
Yeah.
So this is a Dane one. So he was doing a series called Be Different, Stay Weird all year, which I went on and I was being different and I was being weird, and I'm still weird. So what is possible for me that I do not think is possible, that if I would allow the possibility, would actualize a different reality? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, proper, and short meals. So you'll see, I've got that on my phone, on my thing. So I'm reading that to myself 20 times a day. Every time I pick up my phone, I'm asking that question. What is possible for me that I do not think is possible, that if I would allow the possibility, would actualize a different reality?
Chrissy, for that that you just said, is it can you put it on you explain the bean thing like we did like last night for the other ones? Is that all right?
Yes,
So we've got it there. Yeah.
totally, absolutely, and yes. So anybody got any questions?
I've got something funny to share.
Yeah.
So yesterday I went into allowance with Pixie and it was very kind, and there was no energy around her being, and I was asking her what contribution would she like to be, and would she bring me money please, and I asked the boys if they'd do the same.
Okay, so
Well,
just hold on, stop. So just give a little bit of background to this.
So I've got 2 adolescent cats that are the sons of the neighbour's mother cat. And the mother cat, without me knowing it was the neighbour's cat at this time, had adopted me for some months, and so I'd fed it. Then found out she was pregnant, and it was the neighbour's cat. Anyway, I chose 2 of the kittens that she had, and then chose, okay, these are my boys, and mother cat, you can go and be with your family now. But she continued to come over and help herself to all the food. And I got very resistant and reactive, and at points I'd go, okay, all right, you can come in. Then I'd change, and so I was doing the polar thing. So anyway, we did a process yesterday morning, and it was just wonderful. And Chrissie said, well, ask Pixie if she'll bring you money, and what contribution could she be? And she said, well, ask the boys, what contribution they might like to be, and ask them if they'll bring you money too. So that was fine. So that's all good. And anyway, this morning I got up and I was up about 6 o'clock, and I came out, and the boys were looking for some food, and mother cat had arrived, and she was sitting on top of the wee freezer there. And I thought, oh, they're the boys. And I just made a cup of tea and sat down. And then I heard something kind of rattle in the background. And I thought, that's another animal eating the biscuits. And it was Buddy Holly's dad. He'd popped in the door to help himself.
Sounds right.
Oh, Buddy Holly said, can you bring
Yeah.
food? Can you find a way to bring a small food?
Oh.
And I suggested to Kimmy that she puts a little message on Facebook for the Wanganui area. Hey, look, if you guys have got any meat scraps left over from your foods, could you just drop it in? So, because I'm feeding a few extra cats and a mother cat that's got kittens. So what else is possible? And what would it take for everything to be an advantage?
Anyway, his name's Silver, so I think I might ask him for some silver and gold.
Yes. Well, the price of gold is going up these days. What do you know about silver and gold, Bevan? Is the price of gold going up? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I can't hear you. I'll unmute you if you want to talk. Yes, so. Yeah. So what else is possible, guys? And what else do you want to know? Anything else I can offer you to making life easier?
Chrissie, just a brief comment. It's Shirley.
Yes, hi, Shirley.
Yeah, just with this virus that's happening, I found 2 positives that had come through the media, and one was because there's less traffic on the road and presumably in the air as well, we're creating less pollution, which has got to be good for the planet and for ourselves.
Yeah.
And the other thing that came across, and may or may not happen, is somebody was questioning the fact that we have still too many homeless people in New Zealand, and it could be an advantage to put them in the motels that are currently not having any business. If the government's going to pay for them to stay there and create a little solution until a better solution could be found.
Yeah.
You think about that?
Yes, absolutely. And there's a lot of awarenesses around what the shutdowns or the lockdowns or the quarantines have been creating on the planet. A lot of you will have heard that, like, the pollution has really gone down. I think in China, they're saying that animals are rejuvenating. The canals in Italy and Venice are all getting cleaner. I wonder if it's going to make a difference to the oceans with the planes not flying around. But it's really creating a whole different world. Who knows what it's going to create?
Problem is, what are we going to do differently when we start getting back? Because if we do the same thing, we'll get something else. Like, that's my worry. If we just go back to our normal ways, then something else will probably shut us down.
Yes, so that's a good question. And let's ask, what would it take for us to really move forward from this rather than to go back? So anytime you hear someone saying, oh, when things go back to normal, just know they ain't. Things are never going to be the same again. What else is possible? Bevan, did you have something you wanted to say? I know. I can't read you.
In the air.
Oh, it's your pet in the air. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, sorry, I was just,
Yes. I thought you were going to tell us something quite profound, but
not today. I'm out of profound today.
okay. Hey, well, look, it's really wonderful to having you all here today. I hope this has been a contribution for you. Don't hesitate to ask any questions, either in that Facebook group or if you just want to send me a message.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And
Thank you
thanks
greatly.
so much. And I will put the recording on the Facebook group. So, Bevan, there's a group called Expand Your Being. If you want, and surely you could get that from Kimmy. And Robin, I don't know how I'm going to get it to you.
Oh, it's okay.
The recording. But thank you everybody for coming on, and thank you for your contribution. And go and be amazing. Okay? Yes, be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Shirley, for your great wisdom.
My wisdom.
Thank you.
Well, it's actually access consciousnesses.
But it comes through you. We're receiving it through you, so we get your energy too. And it's amazing.
Thank you, darling. Lots of love, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
You too.
Thank you, Shirley.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you.
Bevan.
We should have a virtual cup of tea.
Yes, I think so.